What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Son, the gold card, 87 rated. We have done a review on his player of the month, so if you want to go on the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into Son. So the player of the month is on the channel, 89 rated, and I thought, you know what? We've done a lot on special cards and all of that, and I've kind of lacked the gold cards again, so I want to try and get back to it whilst we're on a little bit of a downtime. There's not really too much content coming out in terms of like proper special teams, which obviously next week, week after, more than likely we're going to get some more. So I thought, you know what, 79k at this moment in time for Son. He was a little bit more expensive back when I had him to begin with, so let's go and look into him and see what Son gold card is all about. 4-star skiller, 5-star weak foot. He is right-footed at 6 foot, high work rates with the NA body average type on Footbin. He is 28 years old, so he's not necessarily the youngest in the world in terms of FIFA, but he has been popping off lately for Spurs, managing to get himself his first player of the month in FIFA 21, and it was very expensive. It was currently coming in at 635. You've got until, I believe, like the 18th, it's kind of like mid to start of December, so there is a bit more time to do him, but we have got Icon SBCs, we've got Bamba player of the month, we've got Lewandowski player of the month. He's slowly becoming more and more expensive, or at least more and more hard to choose who you want to do. Son though, gold card, he's 2 rateds lower than his 89, and he's got 88 pace, 86 shooting, 80 passing, 87 dribbling, and 69 physicals. So already I'm looking at this card and thinking, he's decent. He's very nice. He is 80k currently, which obviously is still a little bit of a price you kind of take off the fact that he is Premier League, and more than likely is linked. It's kind of like a little bit more boosted in terms of price. If you had an 87 Son in Liga 1, in La Liga, in Bundesliga, more than likely he will be a little bit cheaper than he is in the Premier League. It's just how FIFA works in general. But in terms of what you can expect from this card, he is decently quick. He's not necessarily the paciest player in the world, but he's not slow by any means. He's got a cracking shot on him. Passing's decent. I'd say it's above average. And then dribbling's quite nice as well. Yes, doesn't feel not necessarily the most agile player in the world, but definitely can get round players. And more than none, I've managed to kind of get him down the wing, managed to use him as a cam. I kind of have my 2 positions with him. I like him at left wing to start with because I've kind of got that middle of the pitch already kind of worked up. I know what I'm doing with my players, and then I liked him to go down the wing. But then it comes to the second half, maybe I decide either whoever's playing well, I'll either take off Bruno or I'll take off Son, Ansu Fati on the wing. I'll either bring Son into the middle or obviously take him off, and he plays well as a cam as well. I think you could go necessarily a striker with him also, but I personally prefer him kind of left wing or cam. I like them 2 positions. He works really well there, and in chemistry style wise, it all depends on what you want from him. If you want more of a kind of attacking, you want a left forward Son, you are looking at that Hunter. 98 pace, 93 shooting. Cannot complain one bit. Turns him into a 90 left forward, 89 left wing, 88 striker, or 90 centre forward. If you was to go with the engine, you get a 90 left wing, 89 left forward, then you get less of a striker, 89 of a centre forward. So there's a few different positions that you can put him with. I feel like he's kind of got that ability to do across the board. It all depends on what you've got in terms of other players around him. If you've got Mbappe and Ronaldo up front, I don't think you want to be playing Son left mid, and I'd be asking you, how on earth did you get him linked? But I would say that he is better kind of in that cam role. I just prefer him at left mid because I've got my Werner and Martial working really well up front, and then I have got my Bruno, who I absolutely love as a cam. If I can mention him in any video, I normally do, so sorry about that. But let's get into some gameplay, see what Son was all about, and he played some foot champs, and by God did he play. So going into the gameplay for Son then, he is a quick left mid. We'll see him constantly making moves, getting them balls into Werner, who just loves the absolute play, managing to get ourselves just shy of the post there with Martial, and honestly he works really well with it. We see him linking up with Werner more than one occasion and constantly making them through balls. We see here, luckily manages to kind of out kind of muscle Gomez to an extent, but then he does get the ball, gets the little chip through, and then pretty much all together, Bruno to Werner, and it's a lovely near post goal. And honestly, he was just absolutely on fire. I've had him for the past few weeks now. I personally like his player of the month a little bit better. I feel like he is obviously better. He's 2+, but I don't know, I really like the gold Son. He was kind of like a starter for me. We managed to get him back to back, or pretty much back to back, in gold upgrades, so I had to actually use one of them in a gold upgrade pack, which is annoying. But Son has always been a very, very nice player. He's just an overall beast, to be honest. He's definitely a top rated player in terms of left wing. Would I say he's the best left wing in the Prem? Probably not. I feel like that position has definitely got to go to Mane, who again, you'd probably want him in a striker role. I feel like he plays better there. I still would probably put him at left wing if anything, unless it's like a proper informed version, just because of the pace of him and absolutely kind of phenomenal finishing. But Son definitely does well. He really, really puts this shift in and genuinely gets results for me. I kind of like I go with opportunities for both wings. I do like Lucas Moura going down the wing, but I don't find he has the finishing that Son possesses, whereas I think Son has more of a kind of finish on him. He is a phenomenal player. Very, very nice. Very, very nice, and just overall cheap for the price of him. I say 79k on the Xbox, 89 on the PlayStation. Generation-wise, we've had a lot from Son. Going from Hamburg in centre forward, pretty much getting his first inform in FIFA 13. He managed to get himself up to gold, and then obviously he did start his Spurs career in FIFA 15. Unfortunately, they didn't at that point have a gold Son, just because they didn't have like an upgraded version as such. So we had to wait till FIFA 16, and then after that game, that's when he really started to blow up. FIFA 17, he managed to get himself up to a 90. In 18, he got a team of the season at 92, footies at 94. We then saw a team of the season 95 Son in FIFA 19, in fact, and last year again we saw a 95 with so many special versions. He is a very, very good player, even if it is non-performance based, which last year I think every single one bar from Team of the Week moment, he managed to get a version. So we've already got a Player of the Month. He hasn't had a Player of the Month since, I'm pretty sure he had one in FIFA 17 is when we got 2 Player of the Months. It has been quite a long time then. I thought it was sooner than that, to be honest. I really thought he had one before that. But Son is just a cracking player. Links wise is a little bit more difficult, but we have got a rule breaker, Kane. Obviously Tellez at the left back. We've looked at Bruno. You've got someone like Martial, Werner to link with, Alba. There's a lot of players that you can link him with to kind of just get him tucked in that corner. You literally could just go over centre mid and a left back, and he's absolutely golden. That's all you need for him, and he is not hard to link because the Prem is always a good team to go for. Yes, not everybody does, so if you are looking for a kind of hybrid, he is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I still think he's definitely worth the mention in it. In terms of other links then, if we don't go to shared, which we have now screwed up everything, there we go. If we go to the links, we are looking at strong links. We're looking at Kane, Bale's the other side. Dele Alli, I wouldn't really say. Lo Celso is going to need a lot of informs really to get him up there. But we've got people like De Bruyne. We've got Mane, who's taken, or is his position. You've got, I'm trying to see who else is there. All Liverpool players. We've got Aguero's kind of fodder gone really now. Inform Conte is a nice one. We are looking at Alba, like I said. Sterling is in his position, unfortunately. We've then got Firmino, I suppose, is all right. We've got Robertson on the left back. Fabinho. Pogba is another link. All weak links, unfortunately, but we're going to find it very, very difficult to try and get link. And the one mentioned to the South Korea, I think it is South Korea, Korea Republic, we have got a storyline card on the right mid. So if we do see a striker, which in fact we have got Hee-chan, beautiful free up front there. If you really wanted to go with the kind of the Korean up front, not a bad little not a bad little nation there to kind of get up the attack. But in terms of Son, if we look at this one, it's 633k for 2 upgrades, plus 2s, plus 4 on the passing, plus 4 on the physical. I don't know if I can kind of justify 600k for you to upgrade with plus 2s. I feel like he'll get more informs. I personally won't put all my eggs in one basket there. And because we are looking at someone like Neymar, we are looking at someone like Inform Sant Maximum, there is a lot of players that you can choose other than that. And I think at this moment in time, with Icon SBCs kind of like lingering around, I personally wouldn't put too much kind of like involvement in any of the SBCs, just because if you've kind of put in all of it in one, you may miss out on a good icon, a good SBC later on down the line, and it all depends on how much you can actually bring that back. In terms of other left mids, obviously if we take out the icons, we'll look at just pure golds. if we look at golds and all golds, we are looking at Neymar, Mane. I even really like Sterling. I think Hazard not necessarily as good. I feel like Son's probably beat him at this point. Rashford's a nice left mid, but you definitely want him as striker. And then other than that, I'd probably say that's my top choices. I think Mane, Neymar is the two to go for. Obviously 256 and 830k is a big price tag to ask for, but 70k is practically a steal for Son. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I've given him a 9 out of 10. Let me know down below what you think of Son, and did you do his player of the month? Where have you got his gold? Let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.